Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the True Detective series. This is episode 2 and it is called Night Finds You. Last episode, we were getting introduced to the whole scenario and the characters within it. Eric Hart, Rustin Cole, they found this murdered woman in a ritualistic fashion, antlers on her head. Very few clues. Cole was able to go to the truck stop and find some prostitutes where he managed to get the information of the female from. And from there, later on in the episode, they went to that house of the old relatives of the girl and found another one of those devil catchers in the shed. It also set up that Cole has a bad problem with drinking. He showed up to Hart's house drunk and had to have dinner with the family and maintain conversation while being in himself in this horrifically drunk state. He managed to do okay, I think. But yeah, where does the story go from here? I've no idea what the next twist in this tale's gonna be. My only thing is, the Reverend we briefly met in the police station, I suspect him. He's my number one suspect just now. Feel free to call me an idiot by the end of this series, but that dude did the antlers just now to me, right? But of course there is only one way to find out, so this is episode 2 of True Detective Night Finds You. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Yeah, the theme song's already grown on me in this show. I wonder how they decided what shots to use for the intro. Some of the shots in this intro are fucking genius. They're like little paintings. So cleverly made. Whoever did the title sequence for this show deserves some kind of award for creativity.
I mean, it's like something's got your name on it, like a bullet or a nail in the road.
He's very introspective as Matthew.
Sometimes when I've had a few, that's why I like to drink alone. One reason anyway.
I'm assuming no one else wants to drink with Matthew. Can't be that hard for him to find a drinking buddy, surely.
I mean, the aunt reckoned maybe it was something she made in school.
No way did she make that at school. It's too similar to the other ones they found at the crime scene.
Saw it on TV. What we're in the clutches of, and I prayed. I prayed for that woman's family, and it's me.
Poor woman. She better not be in on it after I've said that. You better be nice.
I heard he passed. Is that correct?
Why wouldn't a father bathe his own child?
That's strange. What did she mean by that?
He took an exit too fast, rolled over near Rowan, Oklahoma, May 11th, 1984.
What the fuck was that last picture about? That looked pretty creepy.
She came by not too long ago, maybe a month. She didn't talk about her daddy none.
Seriously, what is that picture about?
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Hail Mary, full of grace.
What the fuck? Is this trauma or something darker than that?
I worked in dry cleaning for 20 years. And chemicals. That's what's wrong with my nails.
Well, just a heads up to all the dry cleaners out there, be fucking careful of the chemicals.
Your mom's still alive?
Maybe.
I was expecting a no there from Matthew, to be honest, so maybe he's actually better than what I was expecting.
I had about 6 inches on him, and even in the end, I still think he could have taken me.
One of them dads, yeah.
Part of Russ' problem was there was things he needed that he couldn't admit to.
What the fuck would he need that he can't admit to? A hug? He looks like he needs a hug.
How was she?
Thin, loopy, like high. He's on something. And she says she found a church, but
Look, this shit again. She found a church. She's gonna be a nun. She met the king. This is definitely her getting in with some sort of religious cult.
she mentioned someplace down south, like around Spanish Lake, shelter. Girls used to stay there.
Might be a lead, you never know.
A torn up person on her last legs. She was just an easy target for him.
Could have been the case. Also though, that picture with the creepy guys surrounding the girl in the hoods maybe suggests that she was picked for this for a long time. Maybe I'm overthinking that picture, but it was fucking weird.
You know what tweakers get up to? Shit, man, this dude in New Orleans cut up his girl, felt remorse, tried to piece her back together with crazy glue.
Oh my god, that is fucked up. But a very unique take on Frankenstein.
Days of nothing. That's what it's like, you work cases.
I suppose it would be, because anytime nothing moves on your case, it's just like another blank day. How many blank days in between, you know, finding something and then finding the next thing? I'm sure it's not a day-by-day thing like many detective shows show. There must be long periods of just nothingness in between the days where you have any progress on your case.
Day after day.
Shows the contrast in their lifestyles though. Obviously he's lost his daughter, no longer with his wife, living alone. Woody Harrelson wakes up happy every day, flooded in bed by his family. Two very different men.
Why didn't you leave when I had Chris call?
That's what I want to know.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. Being around your family.
Wasn't as bad as he thought. That's a compliment and a half.
I was married, Marty, for 3 years.
I suppose having lost his daughter and wife, it might be a bit fucked up being around someone's wife and daughter and kids.
Your kid died? I'm sorry.
Unspeakable. I can't even imagine what it would be like to go through a trauma like that. I've never had children, but if I did and one died, I probably would never be the same again.
And you were married the once, just the once.
Mm-hmm. Came close another time. Laurie.
The modern-day detectives seem to be asking Cole way more about himself than any information he has on the actual case. Why are they trying to dive into his mind so deeply?
They get unhappy.
Yeah, I think the job does that to a lot of guys. Changes you.
Can imagine it would. It's like a doctor. They're very clinical and, you know, you are going to die. It's because the first time they did that, they probably were upset. And the second and third time, but by time 100, you know, they have changed as people.
I know who I am. After all these years, there's a victory in that.
Agreed. To know oneself is very hard for a lot of people. Some people's deathbed regret is not being themselves more, which is crazy to me because I like to think I'm very much always being myself, but it's mad for me to think that so many people go through life and are so worried about fitting in they can never truly be themselves, and up until the point where they're dying and then they finally realise they should have just been who they were. Good on Cole for being himself.
What you get into working, you can't have the kids around that.
Yeah, it's a bit too dark for the family, especially this case.
Might as well stop by.
I don't know, where are you?
Elks.
So you're drunk?
No, I'm not.
So Hart has a woman on the side. I'm never gonna believe that any detective has a faithful relationship ever again between watching this and watching The Wire. They all love side pussy, if these shows are anything to go by.
You gotta take your release where you find it, or where it finds you. I mean, in the end, it's for the good of the family.
Imagine logicizing it that it's for your family's own good. You go and get some woman on the side so you can come home cleansed of the evils of your job. What an excuse.
I, got you a present.
Thought it was actually something nice there. Handcuffs, bitch. Put 'em on.
Anything you say.
Oh, it's him getting handcuffed. Okay.
If you can't afford an attorney, the state will provide you one.
Damn, she had just the right setup there to completely restrain him. Is this the first time they've done this? Something tells me not. Oh well, not quite the perfect family man he was painted as in episode 1. It's nice to know he has a flaw. He was kind of like the perfect character in episode 1. Bring him back down to earth. He's human like the rest of us. Scum. Yeah, scum. You're scum, Woody. Shame on you. Think about your wife and kids, you piece of shit. Okay, now we're all even.
Flashbacks, neural damage. From my time in the HIDTA, that's in high-intensity drug trafficking area.
Oh shit. So is this drugs he's taken in the past, or drugs he was accidentally exposed to?
Undercover. You know what that means? That's where they got them Fed rumors I first come in.
Does that mean he's taken his fair share of drugs undercover?
Shit. Just what have you two heard about me?
He looks like he had a party. That's one of the first times I've seen him smile in this whole show. and it was referencing drug use. Just like real life Matthew McConaughey. Is that the woman he met at the bar last episode? I think it is.
I think him will go for 3 a pill.
And we'll say 200 for the bottle.
Yeah, at least he's paying for them. He's a cop. He could easily just confiscate the shit.
Heard of this place. Kind of trailer park. Girls work, stay. They call it the ranch.
A trailer park just for working girls. Definitely sounds like the place a cult would pick up women from.
He might be dangerous.
Well, of course I'm dangerous. I'm police. I can do terrible things to people.
He said that really scarily, Del.
I always talk straight to you.
Excuse me. I meant that since you're married, I need to be considering my options as a young woman.
He doesn't like hearing that shit, but oi, that is completely fair.
You wash up, you got some pussy on you.
Key to a healthy marriage.
Ah, that's Maggie, huh?
How did he know that?
The high tide you walking in with?
You got some idea how my wife's pussy's supposed to smell?
Okay, he's suggesting that it was not his wife. Using his detective skills to understand what Woody's been doing the night before.
Just apply a couple pounds of pressure. Snap your wrist.
This is quite an adversarial relationship straight off the bat. I mean, Matthew McConaughey didn't have to discuss it like that, but it's within how his character probably would mention it. Awkward car conversation this morning.
I'm gonna have to ask for directions.
Maybe you could just follow your nose.
He's not gonna let that shit lie, is he?
Tell you this. Russ had about as sharp an eye for weakness as I ever seen.
He does seem to have a really good eye for things. Good instinct.
It's my bad, boys. Maybe we got started on the wrong foot there.
Oh shit, Cole does not fuck about.
Take 353 south. I'm gonna exit off the shoulder before we get to the 14. From there we take a dirt fishing road to Bayou Chanel.
Whether or not you knew how he did it, that was impressive. Also, he can fucking handle himself, Cole. He just took on 2 guys there like it was nothing. Fair enough, he sucker punched one with a toolbox, but you know, still. This is instantly quite a creepy location.
Hello, ma'am. Martin Hart.
Still, I'd sit on the sofa and watch TV there. Looks chilled.
Something happened?
You know about that woman found outside of Erath?
Oh, no.
They must be quite disconnected from news and shit at that ranch then, if they didn't even know she'd been killed.
She'd been going to church. I was hoping maybe she just turned things around.
Again with this church thing. She's clearly been recruited from fucking whatever church she was going to.
Folks be staying away, they hear y'all are out here.
Well, ma'am, it's the best way to get us to leave.
Good point. If you don't like them being there, help them and they will fuck off. Again, they're not here to bust prostitutes. They're trying to solve an actual ritualistic murder.
Where's she come from? You want to know Beth's situation? Before she ran out on her uncle?
That's fucking horrible.
At that age, she is not equipped to make those kind of choices.
I agree with Woody Harrelson.
It's 'cause suddenly you don't own it the way you thought you did.
Woody Harrelson obviously disagrees with her.
Do something else.
That was cool of him. Now they're all going to that house in the background to see what they were fucking asking them.
This is her diary, Marty.
Believe this shit. Girl that young. You know the sheriff has got a stake in this place, too.
100%. It sounded like the sheriff had some sort of control over it the way they name-dropped him straight away. Again, this king in yellow, and her becoming a nun and joining a church. Tell me these aren't the direct quotes that are staying in my mind that they need to be paying attention to.
Stay out here today. Check around for Johns, maybe knew her.
Look at this.
Okay, wherever that leaflet is from is where they need to fucking go.
Could be the church everyone mentioned.
Well, let's check around for Johns while we're out here and pick up the church on Monday.
Let's pick up the fucking church now, Woody. This is the place.
North Shore Psychiatric Hospital, Lubbock, Texas. I spent 4 months there in 93.
That explains a lot.
My daughter, she was on her tricycle in our driveway. We lived on a little bend in the road, and
Ah, fuck. That's horrible.
afterwards, Claire and I turned on each other.
So fucked up when that shit happens, man.
3 months I was ripping off couriers or ending up in a Ramada Inn with a couple of fucking 8 balls. Oh yeah.
Holy shit, he went off the rails. And did a lot of rails.
I emptied a 9 into a crankhead for injecting his infant daughter with crystal.
That is fucking sick. Thank fuck he shot that guy. That is fucking horrible.
You know, any agency or department needed a deep undercover narco. They got me.
What a backstory this character has, by the way. Makes you want to see a prequel series just about Cole's character.
325s in the side and ended up at North Shore Psychiatric Hospital in Lubbock, Texas.
Damn, so he took shots back as well.
By then, I was owed quite a few favors, and Louisiana was what they had.
Fucking hell. Completely explains why he is the way he is in these flashbacks to the 90s, though. It's like he's still hallucinating and shit. Keeping that one to himself, I notice. Silent reflection time on the sky changing.
Things like that didn't happen in these parts when I was young. People said ma'am and sir. Families stayed together.
That's an interesting casting of father and son. I do see some sort of genetic semblance there, even though it's just obviously some actor. Woody Harrelson's dad was an assassin. True story, look it up. Some people believe he was actually the man that shot JFK.
I don't know why you're so rude to me. If you're frustrated, don't take it out on me.
I think that you need to get your cable fixed and stop confusing me with your soap operas.
Yeah, fix your fucking cable, bitch. QVC isn't gonna make us spend wasteless money ourselves.
You have smaller fingers. Macy, just do it.
Must have been fun for them two actors just to go out on a boat by themselves and have a fish.
Everything's sex.
You know, throughout history, I bet every old man probably said the same thing.
True. Every generation likes to think their generation was golden and the next generation coming up are like hellions, but things are just always the same, really.
Okay, well, how about we all head back then?
All right, sweetheart. Come on, let's go!
Our line's tangled!
She got her own way without having to say much there. She definitely wears the pants in the household. I like them buildings where the walls aren't aligned with the roof. It reminds me of like old Wild West towns and shit. I'd like a little house like that. A lot of people don't like little spaces. They prefer a grandiose, like when people picture their dream house, they picture some mansion. I'd love a little detached, static caravan. That would be me, chilling.
Does she recognize me?
I might need a memory jog.
Dora. Young blonde.
Dora.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think this is kind of a dead end, continuing down the line of checking out what the pros think about it. I think their next point of call should definitely be the church and the flyer they found.
I wonder if you even know your line.
Oh, come on! Bad enough. The shit I gotta wade through.
Not quite a happier marriage as the first episode suggested then.
I come home to one place where there's supposed to be peace and calm, and you throw this shit.
Who told you that?
Who told you the home was all peace and calm, motherfucker? Who's spreading them lies?
I think you might have a penchant for self-pity. And right now I need you to be strong so that I can do my job.
He worded that kinda dickishly, but also probably as nice as he could in that moment.
Even your mom thinks you're a ball buster.
Now he's bringing up the parents. This is getting real.
Go to the kitchen.
Are you coming?
Yeah, we're starving.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Fuck, it shows how little they see of him when they're unsure if he's coming to the dinner table. The fuck? What were they playing with those dolls like? It's a bit dodgy. Reminds me of the photograph.
Sometimes I feel grateful. Doctor said she didn't feel a thing. Went straight into a coma.
What a way to look at it. Spared her what? Just the wickedness of the world, the stress, the drama, all of that shit that life brings.
Isn't that a beautiful way to go out? Painlessly. As a happy child.
That is definitely one way of looking at it. I do see his point, kinda. It's fucked up, but I mean, God, you gotta find some way to frame it so that it doesn't destroy you.
Think of the hubris it must take to yank a soul out of non-existence into this.
This is why I've never had children. Like, I don't think I'm gonna live till I'm 80, and it would terrify me to leave children behind in this world. I mean, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but fucking hell, this world. You guys know what I mean. It's what's always put me off having children. The world.
Well, this task force is important to the commander and to the governor's office. You know, a lot of people are concerned about it.
So these guys have been brought in to work alongside them or in some sort of similar investigation? If I was Colin Hart, I would keep the information that I have close to my chest. I don't trust these guys. We already know the sheriff has got some money in the local whore ranch. Who else is in on this shit?
You too, my office.
Did he not like the way they handled those detectives?
Well, this God-bothering shit. It's a political circle jerk. You know this.
Is this a place you live? Where are you, huh?
I agree with Matthew McConaughey. I don't think he's done anything untoward, really, either. That guy was talking shit to him and he bitch slapped him.
God damn, Cole. How many ways are there for me to say, shut the fuck up?
I feel bad for him. Everyone he works with tells him to keep his mouth shut.
You ever clear one where 2 rounds of questions didn't hand you the fucking answer?
Oh, come on.
No, you got leads, you got a timeline.
Why is he so furious at them both?
Task force wants to take it off our hands.
We have a lead.
Oh, for Christ's sake, fuck off, Cole.
Okay, this guy's just coming across as an absolute dick now.
Well, you're a smartass with your mouth shut.
He was doing the best he could to wait until prompted to speak.
You know, Tuttle's lighting the fire under this. Without a suspect, they're just going to stop asking questions, Marty, and they're going to give orders. That's that.
This sounds like people are trying to cover this shit up and sweep it under the rug pronto.
I'll try. 2 weeks, and then you two start catching again. Yeah.
So they've got 2 weeks to solve this entire case. They need to go to that church straight away.
So Cole didn't want to give it to the task force. Did you?
No.
They're asking so much more about the individual detectives and their opinion on things than they are of any sort of detail with this new case. What is the current time detectives' game plan? I don't understand it, unless they literally think Colin Hart had something to do with it.
I guess if it's one of those tent revival places, they move around.
Yeah. Tents usually do.
He does always have a smart answer for everything, Cole. Holy shit. Is that CGI? Or were they just lucky enough to get that in shot? Also, was it just me, or did those birds for a split second form the same shape that the drawing on the back of the dead woman's back made? Maybe I'm looking too far into things now.
You still see things?
No. No, they stopped altogether.
Finally burned the last remnants of LSD out of his fat cells. Oh, this place looks ripe for a little piece of evidence to be somewhere, though. That barn owl needs to find an actual barn.
Marty.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so this is directly linked then. Okay, and that was episode 2 of True Detective, Night Finds You, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Night Finds You, what did I think of that? What an amazing hour of television. The first episode of any season, it's incredibly hard to figure out in your head where it sort of stands in quality, because you're just intaking story and characters, etc. I certainly found the first episode interesting and a good premise, but I feel this episode is where this series has come right into its own. I thought this was an incredible hour of television. Everything, every scene, brilliantly acted. Getting a bit more backstory into Matthew McConaughey's character makes it so fascinating. He's such a fascinating character. And on top of that, all the weird elements to it, like he still sometimes sees things that aren't there and shit. And Woody Harrelson's household not being quite as perfect as it first appeared. He's cheating on his wife. His wife's a bit unhappy in the relationship. He spends very little time with his kids, clearly. All is not well on the home front as it may have appeared in episode 1. Adding layer upon layer of interest to this story as it unravels. The scenes at the ranch, the fact that it seems like there's another task force being quickly assembled to take any occult shit off of their hands seems incredibly suspicious to me. To me, this seems like somebody higher up is in some way involved in this shit, and they do not want these two detectives finding more and more evidence. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it just seems like too much of a strange coincidence that they have this significant case and then all of a sudden there is a task force specifically for occult-related crimes. It just seems like whoever put that task force together has some sort of stake in the outcome of their case. And this almost rhymed with the first episode, like poetry. Like the very last scene of the first episode was Cole noticing something at a crime scene, saying, "Yo, over here." And then the episode ending on the piece of evidence they've just discovered. The exact same in this episode. I knew that church flyer was the thing they should have went straight to. They're painting these guys as good detectives, but if I was one of them, straight away I would have put together the stuff the boyfriend in the jail had said about her becoming a nun and meeting the king, and then from the diary talking about the king glowing yellow walking through the woods, and then the church flyer along with the woman saying she'd started going to a church at the ranch. Putting all those pieces of evidence together, it seemed clear to me that that church was the go-to place next. Obviously they had to exhaust all their potential leads, and I do understand that, but me personally, if I was on this case, I would have took one look at that flyer and been like, we are going there fucking now. And even if it was a wreck when I got there, I'd be like, we are lifting up every broken in half piece of burnt wood in this place to look for the tiniest detail. It was even easier than that. It was a giant antlered woman drawn on the wall. If you're going to burn the church down to erase evidence, maybe think about Antler Lady. Or perhaps it wasn't whoever occupied that church burning it down to erase evidence. Maybe other people knew that it was a place of evil and burnt it down, you know, because of what it symbolically represented. Either way, shit is getting good now. I've got to say that was a fucking high quality hour of television from start to finish. Absolutely loved this episode, and if the rest of the series maintains this, I can completely see why people say season 1 is incredible. I really hope it is. I'm not going to watch season 2 and season 3, as you know, so to me, season 1 is going to be True Detective to me. So all we've got is 6 more episodes, and if the final 6 can in any way maintain the quality of this one, holy shit, this is going to be some good stuff. I'm so interested as to what happens next, and also, even though that was a significant thing they found on the wall, where does it go from there? Are they going to try and locate that specific church branch off's new location? Because obviously it's a subsidiary of Christianity. It's not like the Catholic Church or the Protestant Church. It's one of these little branch offs you always see in a major city. If you walk down the commercial districts of every major city, and you're paying attention, before you know it, you'll come across a small entrance to like the Children of the Divine Light Christian Church. And that's not a church that's of the main 2 religions. It's a small branch off with slight variations for people that either A, want to make their own money, or B, understand the intricacies of forming a cult and the benefits which it can have. financial and human control, the only two reasons cults are ever created. I remember walking around in Glasgow and some of the little mini churches, well, you call them churches just because they still have Christianity somewhere in the name, but just because they worship Jesus. Just remember, every belief system is a cult until you get 1,000 members. That is the only difference between a cult and a religion, a membership of 1,000 people. If your cult has 1,000 people, you can officially register it as a religion. That's why Jedi's a religion, because more than 1,000 people wrote that down as their religion when they were asked it. Now, this strikes me more of a definite cult. I would be surprised if it had more than 1,000 members, but it's certainly using the Christianity base and being one of these smaller branch-offs like I was talking about you find when you walk about cities. It stands to reason then that maybe their next protocol will be to relocate where this little branch-off society have since moved to, or if they're like a travelling roadshow, maybe they'll have to like locate where they are moving to or follow them on the path somewhere before they catch up with them. That's my guess for the next few episodes, but who knows, I could as always be completely wrong. Regardless, this has got me fully sucked in. I'm so interested as to what happens next, and what a great show this is. Woody Harrelson plays his character perfectly. Matthew McConaughey plays one of the most interesting detective characters I have literally ever seen, and it's only episode 2. I really hope it maintains this quality for the rest of it, because I will hold this series in such high regard if it does. If you've held this reaction in any sort of high regard, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anybody you think might appreciate it or want to watch the rest of this series along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get full-length versions of everything I react to on YouTube. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.